throughout my life and throughout ministry, I mean, I've met so many people that that always they share with me these things that are inside of them, their dreams, their hopes, their aspirations in life, the things that maybe that God's calling them to. And then usually what happens after that is they start to go on this huge laundry list, or they start to share even more about why they're not living this, or the things that they're afraid of. And they start to share things that are holding them back. They start to share things like, I'm not sure if I can do this. I'm not sure if I'm capable. I'm not sure if I'm able. Or I'm not sure if, there's too much of a cost. The risk is just getting greater. I'm not exactly sure if I can do this. And the more I hear about this, the more I realize it's like, man, it's we get so lost in our fears. So many dreams get unrealized. So many lives are not lived fully because of this thing called fear. In scriptures, in Proverbs 20, verse 5, it says, "The purposes in a man's heart are deep waters, but a man of understanding draws them out." And this verse has been speaking to me for years now about what would it look like if the church becomes that man of understanding? What would it look like if we actually helped others discover the purposes that are lying dormant within them? What would it look like if we helped others to live their dreams? What if we became people that help others to remove their barriers? Imagine what our churches would look like. Imagine the fullness of life that we could experience. Imagine what our communities would look like. Imagine what our cities and even this world would look like if we would be those people of understanding. I think we have an incredible opportunity as the people of God, as human beings even. So we're inviting you into the conversation. We want to see, we want to hear actually. We want to kind of open it up. I know there's such a, the online space is actually pretty huge, so we're going to be putting this out there, and what we want to hear from you is we want to hear what your dreams are. We want to hear the things that are inside of you. We want to hear the things that you are not living, that you just hope to live. And at the same time, if you're bold enough and if you're daring enough, we also want to be able to hear your fears, to name them, to actually put a name to that fear so that we can start to address these things. And for the next few weeks in this upcoming series, we're going to talk about what Scripture says and what God says about our fears and how to address them and how to live the life that He calls us to live ultimately. So my hope is that you would join us in this upcoming series and share in the conversation.
Kevin, so if fear wasn't part of this whole thing and you could pursue anything you want, what's one of the biggest dreams that you would go for?
I would want to get into history and digging up the pyramids and stuff, searching through Egypt, learning about what they believe in, their rituals, everything about the Egyptians.
Hi, I'm Johnny. Let me see, my biggest dream would be to become a doctor.
One of my biggest dreams right now is to work as a proofreader in a publications house.
I think my big dream actually is taking Christians overseas into areas of major urban poverty.
What dream would you have?
I would want to be a doctor or a missionary doctor in like a village or a rural setting, maybe in Africa or somewhere else.
What dream inside of you would you be living that you're not living?
I've always had the dream to start my own business, something like a nonprofit that helps people.
I would probably want to go overseas, work with children, maybe like China or somewhere like Rwanda, just working with the communities there.
What's the dream inside of you?
I think one of the things that I would like to do is probably, I'd like to live overseas and probably do some kind of helping the poor, or helping orphans, or some kind of work in that sense.
I think one of the things I think about, I'd probably go back to school. Try to get back into medicine.
I think I will be a different place if I didn't have fear of me knowing that I cannot do anything. You know, like myself is so stuck to like limited in what I really wanted to do, you know.
My biggest fear is failure.
I still need to finish school, and the money issue, it takes a lot of money, and I don't know if I have the commitment to make that choice the right choice.
I think because of my low self-esteem, thinking, you know, I'm not as educated, or they're so educated, or, you know, stuff like that. So it makes me feel like I'm not good enough.
Probably finances, like just the fear, especially in this economy, just being able to provide for myself, and we'll get married soon, so both of us being able to provide.
And what's the fear that prevents you from living that dream?
Fear of failure. I'd have to retake tests and just scared. Just fear of failure, not being good enough.
And what's the fear that would prevent you from doing that?
The fear that's preventing me from doing that now is basically trusting God with my kids. So living overseas and bringing my kids there and trusting in God.
I'd say number one would be finances. I'm just not sure how I would survive paying bills like school loans and like, you know, car payments and you know, making sure that my family's okay.
My greatest fear is probably failure, not knowing, looking stupid, looking bad, just discomfort. But like, you know, my greatest fear is definitely just failing and the embarrassment that comes